Hey everyone, a very cold, honest Hughie here. It is freezing, and I figured I'd just make a video update real quick just to let you know that things are coming along well. We're just waiting on a guy to assess the house and do, look at what needs like repairing. There's not much, luckily, just the roof and stuff like that. So I'm going to make a video now because I haven't had time to really make a video um, in general, not just with work, just with obviously getting stuff ready for the house and obviously not having the house to myself for a while as well. Now I've got the house to myself. It's sort of like I can do my videos a bit better. Plus, there's not much to review. I was gonna watch that Halloween Kills, not Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. There we go. Haven't watched it yet though, so this is gonna be my review on a couple of games that I've played lately. And the main one that I'm very. This is very much like a Last of Us sort of review coming up here, but just before I jump into the review, I just want to say that things are going well and that soon we'll be in a different house and our house. And yeah, I'll have a little room set up and hopefully a stand instead of using my knee right now. I'm using my leg right now. Um, and the pillars, because this is just a brick wall behind me otherwise. Like, it's thingied over, got wallpaper over, but if you look, it's just brick. And it's very uncomfortable for the back. So yeah, this is going to be a quick update at the beginning of this video. And now I'm going to jump into what I'm on about really to start with. First things first, it's the two games that I've been playing. One of them, it's my own fault, why I don't like it. And the other one, right, I'll crack on with the first one. Saints Row the Third, remastered. Now, I played Saints Row Re-Elected, and oddly, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, the story's rubbish, this, that, but did the third one again. And all the stuff that annoyed me from the first one with the story annoyed me again. And it was just like, I've been saying to Shelley for ages, like, what game should I play? Like, should I play Saints Row? And she's like, play Saints Row, and I do it. And then I come off it and I play the other game I'm going to mention. And she goes, oh no, do that, just make your mind up. And I'm like, oh. So anyway, that got boring real quick. Um, like I say, it just takes long to design your character. And I think that's the only bit that's good. Because speaking of Saints Row, the new one looks absolutely, like, terrible. Like, it looks like a free game. It looks like one of them games you get for free with the PlayStation Plus. And I think it's going to be for free on the PlayStation Plus in a couple of years. Also wearing my glasses, by the way. I figured I'd point that out, just because I do like these glasses. These are my gaming ones, I call them. I do wear them for work if I forget my other glasses, but I've got like a sort of, I say a smarter pair, a more, it's a bit of a smaller on the front, but for gaming these are perfect because they're quite long, um, and I can see. But I can actually lay in bed and play the games, like with the TV being a bit far out. I used to have to sit quite close to the screen, but now things are going right there. And yeah, so like I say, it's my own fault of that one. I designed my character, designed a card, did all this, did that Gangsters in Space mission, and then I was bored and I was done. So I deleted that because I need space for a certain game that I'm going to be getting shortly, God of War. Yep, I'll be getting that soon. I'll be playing it soon. Um, right now, I'm downloading stuff right now, so I can hear it in the background. Um, because this is the main reason why I'm making the video as well. I wanted to do an update video, but I'll add this on too. Now I played. It's the rat. It's a play game. I call it the rat game. Now I played the first one, Plague Tale Innocence, about 2 years ago now. Amazing, absolutely unreal. Yeah, yeah, it has its flaws. Yeah, it's a bit fast, slow walk scenes stuff like that, but I can roll with it. And the rats are cool. And at the end, the rats are quite cute because they get obviously. I'll say what happened in the first one. The kid gets obviously infected, and your his sister and there's these knights that come to the house and obviously try and kill him, or capture him at this point actually, to use him for his powers for the Grand Inquisitor or whatever his name is, and really old guy. And there's a certain knight in it, like his second in command. I think it's called Nicholas, and he makes the game. He's just so cool. Like, it's a villain, and he's a villain, and it's just like simple format. It's get the kid to this castle, what's left of it, and hide in there and sort of have refuge, and you sort of get in this castle, it's your own home, and you sort of see, because her family gets murdered at the beginning, all of them in mum. Um, but obviously, as the story progresses, you turn out that obviously the mum's more useful and didn't die. And she really, she was a herbalist, so she's an alchemist. And she was working on a cure for Hugo because the little boy is with her on the front cover of the game, Hugo. Um, he has something called macular, or whatever it's called, and it's 4 stages, and it doesn't quite explain them. It only explains the last two, which are the main ones. One third one where he becomes one with the rats or something, where he controls them. Awesome, fantastic like mechanic for a game. These rats have been doing legend throughout the whole game. You know, you step in the dark, obviously fire scares them off, but you step in the dark, get hit by them. Fantastic, right? Love it. Then a twist at the end, you can control them as him, and it's amazing, right? And then he's telling you what the rats are thinking, but she's cutting him off because this is what I'm going to get into. It's Amicia. She is the first one. She doesn't like. It's not that she doesn't shut up. She's just very. You can tell the company's trying to make you feel bad, but you don't have to be told it to feel it. And that's what's wrong with like certain bits of the first game. Certain bits. Now they lay off it a bit in the first game. For instance, you'll see a load of rats. And you know you've dealt with them once. You know, fine fact. You light the torch, swing the fire at them, they'll clear your road. You'll get out fine. But if the fire goes out, yeah, you'll get it. Fair enough. But you're in an underground tube. There's no wind, and the rats aren't doing that swirly thing yet, which is where the storm and put the lights out. But you've got equipment to stop them doing that. She's very skilled. She always uses a sling. She does it. So she goes through and she's like, oh my God, I can't, you do it as usual. And she's like, oh, I can't believe there's so many rats. Oh my God, I can't believe there's so many of them. I don't think this fire's going to keep up. And you're just like, it is though. And you've seen more rats than you have outside, like a load of them. You stepped over a load of bodies with your foot in them at this point and didn't complain half as much as in a couple of rats where you've got a flame and stick it and get rid of them. Anyway, you go out next and she's like, I can't believe I made it. And I'm like, well, I can because, you've done worse. And then your companion, usually it's Hugo in this one, and he says like little lines and you're kind of like, yeah, get your 5-year-old, get your kids, but come on. And then anyway, scratch that, you go through the game and obviously Nicholas is following you, the main villain, and he's awesome. He tries to use Hugo against you and he can control the rats. Now, they say about the 4th stage, right, is he dies in the 4th stage, right? So he becomes like sort of, when I said becomes one with the rats, sorry, my leg's hurting. Becomes one, my stand's hurting. Becomes one with the rats, which is a neat concept in the first game. They don't do that. He has some, what's it called? I forgot to call it potion. I was calling it potion, and it slows it down and it goes back over. Now it goes up if he gets angry. The rats come out and attack people, but he doesn't go back into like the sort of he doesn't go back into being sort of stage. But he's past the first 2 stages, and this is what I mean. It's confusing to start with because this is me getting onto the second game. First game ends, for instance, it's a light-hearted ending. There has its scenes where it's deep, it makes you feel sort of, doesn't really make you feel because it doesn't have the same fit. It's trying to be Last of Us in a way, but it's try-harding a little bit much. But the first one, it works because the ending's nice and it's good and it makes you think, well, they did what they wanted to do. They rescued Hugo, saved him from the rats. The rats are now your friends. Job's good, right? And then the second one comes along and you start playing it and you've got Hugo with you and you get, well, I don't even know, this is what's weird, right? All of a sudden you're in this town. Like, you're playing hide and seek. Sorry, this camera's moving a lot, by the way. You're playing hide and seek, in a way, with the alchemist. Your little friend you find along the way who's helping Hugo find a cure. Right, Right now, no sign of rats. He has no vein, because he goes all veiny, like a cracked look. Macula like makes him all veiny. It makes it sort of like a bit like when the Batman game, when he was infected and his veins were all like here, when he was infected with a Titan virus. Bit like that, but obviously the more veinier he gets, the more you can control the rats. But the problem with that is obviously the fourth stage is he'll die. So you end up going playing hide and seek with the alchemist, and you're having fun, and then you go to this town for some reason. It's like a castle. So he's running it. You fall through the floor. And obviously, there's guards. They're all dead. No, the townsfolk's all dead. Scratch that. This is how the game's all over. You're going through this town anyway. Long story short, there's like these cult people. You kill one of them because they try and kill the boy you played games with, hide and seek with, who you randomly stumble upon coincidentally. And I wasn't even bothered. At this point, I was enjoying it because at the beginning, I was ready for it. Anyway, you wipe all them out, and then you go, and then the dad obviously is like, "You killed my son," blah blah blah. You're like, "Well, yeah, it's already starting this whole, revenge is bad, or who's right here? Should you kill him? Should you not?" It's just know what it is, know what you are, but I can roll with that. I can roll with that because you kill him and it's done with, right? She's shaking, which makes no sense to me because she's killed like a shitload of soldiers beforehand, pardon my French, literally. Um, but it's like she killed all them soldiers in the first game. Yeah, she does it to say, like, same reason, same family. She didn't shake that much in the first game. This, she starts shaking, having panic attacks, and I'm just like, how? Like, why? Like you're used to this. Like, this is the main bit I'm going to get at. Maybe that's the main thing I'm going to get at is what the second game's done, different from the first. Now, the first could have a metaphor, but you knew what it was. You saved the kid. Save him from the rats. Then the rats become your friends, and you obviously have a rat fight, which is epic. Annoying, but good. The second game's gone down a path of it's like it's like they're all dead and going through purgatory, and it just doesn't suit it at all, considering they're not dead, considering that they survived the last game 100%, considering that Hugo, yeah, he can be sick again, and I'm not saying, right, this second one, I'm going to sort of explain main thing with it before I get into like obviously the spoiler side of it. The main thing I didn't like about it was she slaughters these soldiers in the first game just using a sling, right? It's a very cool trope, but an annoying trope. You can't help but think, pick up a sword, use a sword. So anyway, you go to this flea market in the second game. Not to mention at the castle, there's no mention of that so far. By the way, please excuse me. I've only played chapter 4, got up to, and I've deleted it now because it's poor and it's bad. And this is what I'm going to get at, is there's knives on the table. There's swords, and there's a little sword, and it's like, he walks over and Hugo's like, why don't you get a sword? 5-year-old kid telling her to get a sword, She goes, oh no, they're for killing. Right, but your slingshot isn't. Like, a rock to the head would kill you, and it did in the game. And you get, obviously, an arrow thing, and you start just thinking, right, okay, I'll roll with that, and then it goes to a bit where she pulls a little knife out of this wall, a little crappy, flimsy knife. This is like further along, I'm skipping a bit here. And you pull it out the wall, and then she says to her character, oh, I might need to use this, it'll come in handy to kill the soldiers. And it breaks after one hit. And you just sat thinking, so what was stopping you buying a knife that wouldn't break one hit at the market? Because you said it was for killing, yet you're going to kill him with that little crappy knife that breaks in one hit. That was where I was kind of like, it doesn't know where it wants to be because she complains. Then she doesn't complain. Then the guy you're with, the alchemist guy, will be complaining on what you're doing. Or it's all about playing your way, but you get complaints along the way. But you get told, oh, you shouldn't have killed them guards. Oh, you shouldn't do this. Right? Like, for instance, there's a scene I've just played there. You could exit the room, right? They find this herb, right, to cure Hugo, because he's sick again. Because what happened to the town folk, obviously, he got mad, the rats got him. I'm going to back up 1 minute here and say something I missed. He goes on this island, this trippy island thing, and oh my god, it's not that, I get it. He's just so, I get he's a 5-year-old kid. I get it a lot, but he's so whiny. And it's so, like, what I mean is, it's so stereotypical of, oh, I don't want to die. It's that stereotypical. He actually says, I don't want to die. Oh, 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 oh. He's crawling and he's getting mom. And you just sat there like a bit of a headache, to be honest. Like, you know, worse has happened in the first game, with his mum and his dad and like the rats and just what you've seen in the first game. And then the second game starts off like trying to be like, oh, this is terrible, oh, this is really bad. But you look and you go, well, you've seen worse, you've done worse. You've done some pretty messed up stuff to get past some things. Like I've set rats on. The main thing, the most messed up thing they did in that game was they killed off the pig. They set all the rats on the pig to get past a certain area in the first game. And it was cute. And like I say, you've used people as bait, and you can do that in this game, but they'll whine at you. You'll whine at you. The alchemist guy so far is whining at her because he uses them as bait, and you just like, but I did this in the first one, and Hugo didn't care, and you didn't care, and and anyway she's whining, and in the next bit she whines, and then she has sweaty palms. She goes, "Oh, my palms are sweating," and then all of a sudden she's in this like attic, not an attic, a little hut, and she's sweating, and she's going, "Oh, the panic attack! Oh God, no!" And you've only killed about a few guards, a couple of guards, and there's been a load of rats. Nothing new. Been through worse, like I said, done worse. This, and then he goes, "Well, I'll go first. You can stay in here and calm down." All this time before that, she was saying, "I can't wait. I need to save Hugo because he's getting sick." She was having panic attacks way before that at the beginning because she was shaking after killing all them guys. So it didn't slow down before. It didn't, and why would it slow down then? Just so you can get to a certain bit where you slaughter a load of the men in the thing. You could exit the building and not do it, right? Can't do that. You have to kill them. She's like saying, "Oh, I'm going to slaughter them all. I'm killing them all." This is literally 5 minutes ago. She was saying she was having a panic attack. And I just got more annoyed as I went along with the game. It's like The Last of Us Part 2. It's depressing for being depressing. There's no reason for it, and I'm going to, you could say spoil it here. If you don't want to know the ending of the game, I'll end the video now. If you don't want to know the ending of the game, I don't know if anyone's going to play it who's watching this, but if you don't know the ending of the game, let me just sort of get into the main bit of this game. Is you save the kid, right? Save the kid. Find a cure for him. You go through all this, and the ending is he dies. Now, I can roll with that if he died by being sick and became one with the rats. I can roll with that. Goes on this philosophy trippy thing where he's on a tree. Like you see at the beginning, he's part of that tree, and you kill him yourself, or the alchemist guy kills him, and she's obviously like, "Oh, right, now that's the only time I can go with. She can make noises all she wants." I'm gonna walk and talk at the same time because I've put some food in. I'm gonna go and check on my food. Anyway, like I say, she flings the rock. Anyway, you do that. I watched a little bit of on YouTube. I clicked off it though, and then it's just so bad. It's just like what it is about it is everyone's saying it's this amazing game. It's 10 out of 10. It made them cry at the end, and a bit like Last of Us. It's cheap stuff that makes you cry. Of course you're gonna cry if Hugo dies. You're attached to him from the first. Of course that's gonna make you cry. That doesn't mean it's a good game. Of course I cried when Joel died. It was horrible. Doesn't mean that Last of Us 2 was a good game. Now, I can see where people can like it, but I was worried they were going to do this. Like, I was worried. But I bought it anyway, thinking surely they're not going to do it. And then as soon as I bought it, a video popped up saying Hugo's deaf right after I bought it, and I thought, surely not. Surely they know he's the main bit of the game. You know, you could argue Amicia this, that, no. Should have been, if anything, Amicia sacrificing herself to save him. That would have worked better. It's killing the main character off. But not to mention he gets put aside for the first half of the game anyway. Or majority of the game he's laid up sick. So the whole game is to save him, then not save him. Like, and you already get told this straight away that he's going to die. So it's not a shock. But yet to play it off like a shock value, and it's just so like bad and tedious as well. Not to mention the forced conversation scenes. You have to stand there and look at them for a bit and slow walk through these crowds and sort of slow walk past these soldiers. You're supposed to be stealthy, yet you can just run through. I've got it in easy mode, by the way, when I was playing it. But yeah, but in other words, the reason I'm really making this video is because it was so disappointing. It was very bad. And I can see where people like it. Ooh, they're looking good. I'm just going to show you what I'm cooking real quick. I can see why people like it, but I just don't get why there's not a YouTube video and they're saying that it's bad. Maybe it's because it's new, so I figured I'll be the first to take the fall. A bit like Elden Ring. I like to say, it's my opinion on it, but I really don't like it. I just think it's just depressing for being depressing. Like, there's no reason for it, and it's not that I don't like a good depressing game. First Last of Us, how bad was that? I loved it. Start to finish, I loved it. It's just this, it felt like it meant something in The Last of Us. Here it feels nothing. It's a game of nothingness and whiny. And you must feel bad because you've killed this guy. Yet then she kills about 20 odd people in a, you know, little protect mission thing. Ooh, you must feel bad now because their leader's annoyed with you. Ooh, you must feel bad now because now Hugo's getting more sick. So save him. Yeah, but he's going to die anyway. So why didn't you just end him there? Instead of having him part of the tree and that. Don't get me started on the order. Right, I'm going to show you what I'm eating real quick because I'm done with that review. And it is, can I see? Oh, it might be, oh, it's all good. They're not burnt. I had to run to the oven then because I thought, they're burning. That's what I've got. Minced beef, crisp bakes. I use it crispy cakes then. And this is going to be the product. Okay, maybe they're a little bit burnt. Tell a lie, they're not. Oh, I don't know about them, like. That's the minced meat. Well, we'll see how they are. On that note, I'm going to tuck into them sketchy beef burger / patty / whatever they are things. And I will, what the heck is on my glasses? I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and please excuse my rant on the game. It's just annoying when they do stuff like that, where they can tell stories so much better, so much, you know, have a happy ending. There's nothing wrong with a happy ending. But there's nothing wrong with a bad ending either. But come on. Like, come on. Anyway, real quick before I go, if you haven't seen Barbarian, give it a watch. It's an amazing movie. And, yeah, it goes so many twists and turns. So on that note, I will see you later. Hopefully, if you haven't subscribed and all that stuff, you know what I'm going to say anyway. I'm out. I'm hungry, man. I'm going to try these sketchy burger things. Bye!